Today we are going to learn about how to use multimeter. This is multimeter display, and these two wire called test probe. Red color probe we called positive, black color probe we will call as negative probe. This is multimeter pointers, so we can turn this knob and we can select which is required. In this multimeter we can measure DC voltage and AC voltage, AC ampere, resistors and continuity. So these are all things we can able to measure with this multimeter. This is common. So this common ampere and voltage we can connect with this probe. So common we can connect block probe. In balance we have voltage, resistance and ampere. We can use this red probe. So here it was written DC voltage, AC voltage, resistance and continuity we can measure in this, and ampere we can connect to the top hole and we can measure the amperes. If you want to measure more than 200 milliampere, then you can remove this probe and connect to the 10 ampere socket. So here we can measure maximum 10 ampere current. If you want to measure DC voltage, turn this knob to DC voltage. Here it was mentioned DC voltage symbols. So here we can able to measure the DC voltages. So in this multimeter we can measure minimum 200 millivoltage to up to 1000 voltage we can measure. So we need to keep in our mind when we are going to measure the voltage. So always we need to keep this knob which we are actually measuring more than a range. If we want to measure a DC voltage, then a red probe we need to keep the pointer positive, and block probe we need to keep the pointer negative point. Then we will get accurate voltage. If you keep red probe in the negative, black probe in the positive, then you will get negative voltages in the display of multimeter. So because we have a DC voltage polarity, so we need to keep always red probe will be positive, black probe will be negative. And here we can able to measure the AC voltage 200 voltage to 750 voltages. Because AC voltage doesn't have the polarity, so we can use the probe any direction. So normally in electrical socket we will get 200 to 240 voltage. So here we selected the knob 700 voltage, which is more than actual voltage. If we need to measure DC ampere, then we can keep the DC ampere range. So this is actually 200 milliampere to up to 2000 ampere we can measure with this multimeter. If you want to measure more than 200 ampere, then you can keep this position to the 10 ampere and change the probe into 10 ampere socket. So when we are measuring the ampere, so we need to keep this probe in the series connection like this. Next we will see about how to measure the resistance. So we need to turn this multimeter knob into a resistance position. We can measure the resistor 200 ohms to 2000 kilo ohms. We can measure the resistor. Resistor don't have any polarity, so you can keep any probe in any direction. So always keep the resistor more than the actual value of the resistor. Next we will see about the how to check the continuity. To check the continuity, keep the knob position into the buzzer position. So one lead of wire we can keep one probe, and another lead we can keep the another probe. If you are getting peep sound, then the wire is continuity is there. If you are not getting peep sound, then maybe this wire disconnected in between. So we can check like this.